Bam.
Hi world, I'm sitting here today with Rachael Gissell, and she has a little story to tell you all that she wants to share, and I think she should share, based around juicing. So I'm gonna let Rachael take it away.
Hello. So, my experience with juicing, I watched one of the Netflix documentaries a long time ago on Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, just trying to, yes.
Yeah.
And it really spoke to me. So juicing's kind of been on my radar for a while. Went and got a Breville juicer, just like in the show.
Yes, my favorite.
Started doing my own thing, started just kind of Googling and trying to learn and everything I could about why juicing's good for you. Cut to probably a year ago, I got a job at a juice bar.
That's what I want to hear.
Juice bar, yes. With my friend, owner, operator, and just started juicing. We're making smoothies, smoothie bowls, juices, toast, all kinds of yummy good stuff. But the juice is what brought people there, really.
Fantastic.
Yes, and I just, it kind of just became part of my world. Now, cut to just, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago,
Yeah,
I
about that. Yeah.
learned about celery juice. You want to know the origin of where I heard about it?
I do. I think you mentioned it, but they should probably know.
How did I even hear about it? Just somebody called the medical medium, which to a lot of people could sound kind of hokey. I half-heartedly believe in that kind of stuff. But I heard about celery juice, started reading about it, reading the blog, listening to podcasts,
Yes.
just learning, why does it work? What is this information? How can this help? Hashtag celery juice on Instagram, and the before and afters are, I mean, incredible.
Yeah.
When you look at these people's success. Now, what else they did in their regimen, I don't know.
Right.
But so I decided that it'd be a good idea to incorporate this for my son. 15-year-old was diagnosed with Crohn's a couple years ago. We went through a year and a half of 2 different medications. He developed psoriasis during this,
Oh, wow.
really bad. Doctors say the medicine can't cause psoriasis. Blah. Then is having all this body pain. Doctors say it's a kind of an overlapping syndrome. And my non-doctor mom brain says, no, his body is responding with inflammation.
Right.
And this is his body telling us, listen to me.
Right.
The doctors just say it all kind of goes together. So then he's diagnosed with something called CROMO, which is chronic, recurring, multifocal osteomyelitis.
Woo! My brain
Yeah.
hurts. My brain
His
hurts.
bones are inflamed, and it hurts. So not just the joints, not just the muscles, not just the soft tissue, but his bone, tailbone, ankle, some of the bones involved with the ankle, hips, knees, a lot of the major joints, but it's the bones that lead into the joints.
Yeah.
And it's painful. I can hardly
Sounds that
walk. And he's 15, can't play sports, can't, because when he goes out to be super active, even just tossing the football around,
Yeah.
something hurts. And it stinks. So I'm
Ouch.
thinking, with celery juice, there's 0 risk.
All right, at least try it.
No side effects.
Try it. See what happens.
I'll be honest, doesn't taste great. Doesn't taste great on its own. And that's okay, because you just do what you can.
All right.
So the protocol is 16 ounces of pure, freshly juiced celery juice, first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. That's just the ideal scenario. Now, to not make it a stressful situation, my approach was drink what you can when you can.
Right.
So I get my bunch, chop the bottom off, rinse it through juicer, and I pour him. He's up to about 4 to 5 ounces a day. So I pour that into a little glass for him, put it in the fridge, and it's no pressure. It's drink it when you can. And then I drink the rest. Just to do it with him.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's
And
always
if there's
easier.
extra, then his dad drinks the rest. Doesn't taste great, but unlike medication, there's no risks, there's no side effects. You know, and who's going to eat an entire bunch of celery?
No, and it's not
And
going
it
to do
doesn't
the same
even
thing.
right,
Because you got
exactly.
the fiber there. It's not going to hit the. It's not going to detox the cells.
Right.
Right, because the juice gets into the cell and detoxes the cells.
Right.
Unlike smoothies and other foods, and that's
Right.
one of the things that a lot of people don't know about juicing. And
I think it's bad that the fiber is discarded.
I know,
But
right?
it's not,
Right.
It's not always the case.
Right.
That's
right,
not always
exactly,
the case.
Exactly. You know, a lot of times I'll say to people like, "Hey, so where did you get your fiber before they created all these Vitamixes and all this other stuff?" And of course, some people look at me funny. They look at me strange, and then when you think about it a little bit, well, it's food. You get it from food.
Right.
Regular food.
Right.
I told somebody this yesterday. Juice is one of the healthiest forms of liquid on the planet.
Yeah.
But when you talk about it, some people will hit you with this whole thing about like, the fiber, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing I say is, you not talk about fiber when you drink your tea, when you drink your coffee,
Mm-hmm.
when you drink your soda, all these other things that we drink.
Mm-hmm.
We're not thinking about it then, but when we come to juice, which can heal a lot of gut issues, just a lot of things in the body, fighting
Mm-hmm.
inflammation, then we want to talk about fiber. But you know, I mean, then part of that comes from television, right? These infomercials, they want to sell their blender, and I get it. But again, I've had that conversation numerous times.
Mm-hmm.
But at the flip side of that too is like, you tried it, right? To see what would happen, because what would you have been out of? And to be very honest, if you bought a juicer and it's not working out for you, you can take it back. You can take the juicer back,
Yeah.
clean it up real good, and take it back.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not suggesting that people go out and do that on a routine basis. Buy it, use it 3 weeks, take it back. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But no, that's good, and I was so impressed when I saw that because my daughter, I posted on Instagram and Facebook on Absolutely Juicy yesterday. It was about 4 years ago. She went down to California on spring break with a friend of hers and their family. She had to go to In-N-Out. And when she came back, so she had these, like, it was crusted on both of her arms right here, all right? But her whole arm, her arms blew up. I mean, they were all bumped up and blistered up. And that was a Monday, because they got back that Sunday. So Monday morning when I was taking her to school, I took a picture of her arm. I gave her juice Monday when she got out of school, Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning. And Wednesday afternoon, I took another picture of her arm, and you'd never know that it was the same arm. It's like magic. It's like magic. And,
It can be.
And the interesting thing, her doctor told me, so my daughter, of course, she was in like junior high at that time, and she didn't stick with it. You know, she wants to eat what she wants to eat. She's young. She doesn't really believe in it. And she was going and getting these like skin treatments, some kind of lamp or some kind of infrared light. No, it wasn't
Like a red
infrared
light?
light. I don't think it was that, because that's the healthier form of, right? I think it was something else that wasn't quite so healthy. So she was getting these treatments done, and you know, I mean, I was like, shaking my head, and I remember talking to the doctor one day, and I got on the conversation of like food and something else. He's like, oh no, you can't reverse eczema.
Eczema?
Yeah, eczema. You have to live with it. I had to walk away. I had to walk away. So no, but that's great. So I'm gonna. So will you be posting other pictures soon of progress?
Even
Okay.
now, it looks better than what I posted
Last time.
a week ago. So, of course, I didn't take a picture of months and months ago when
Right.
his whole trunk, basically from here down to like the underwear line elastic, was red and angry and scaly, and I mean, it looked horrible. And now, you know, you can hardly see the outline of all that. I mean, it wasn't just like a couple patches that were bad. I mean, his entire elbow was red and scaly, and in both sides behind, like all those
Yeah.
typical spots.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. He's not even putting you know, all the steroid creams that we have prescribed for us.
Right,
you know,
right,
that
right.
work while you're using them, but don't use them for too long, because they're going to thin the skin and scar.
Right, and then you'll start bleeding and all this other stuff. Yeah.
And then, you know, at one point he was taking prednisone and putting the cream on, and I'm just like, he's getting full of steroids. it's not just a topical thing that sits there and takes care of the outside. I'm hoping these doctors realize that it's going into
Oh yeah, it does.
his body. I mean, what I find really interesting is at one point, I asked his GI doctor while I was working at the juice bar. Courtney said, you should watch this Netflix documentary, Super Juice Me.
Yeah.
Watched it and saw that cabbage juice
Yes.
can also work miracles for
Great for the
Crohn's
gut, yeah.
and yes.
Fantastic for the gut.
So I started juicing, and at the time Christopher was using a feeding tube at night, and so I juiced cabbage and just put it down his tube. He didn't have to taste it. He didn't have to feel it in his mouth. It just went into his belly.
Yeah.
We didn't stick with that. I don't know, it just wasn't his thing. He's like, I don't like this. It's not working. So I asked the doctor, is it okay if I just juice vegetables and just put the juice in his tube, if that's going to help him? And her response verbatim was, there's no nutritional value.
I believe it.
Now, I don't know if she meant to say there's no caloric value, because we were really in a conversation of talking about getting more calories in him so he would start gaining weight. Maybe she meant that, but I tell you, I saw red, and I had to just like calm the mama bear.
Yeah, I had to just say that.
And not go off on her, because I just thought, that's ridiculous. How can you say that? But you're going to tell him to eat broccoli, which is fine. Eat it.
Right.
But not juice. Like,
They don't want.
it made no sense to me whatsoever. His doctors at the end of our treatment, they didn't like me very much, because
Right.
I asked questions and brought
Right,
things up.
and we are supposed to, and we're supposed to. We should.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't, but we should all start asking more questions.
Yes.
And along with cabbage is one of the best things for your gut. Now,
Mhm.
I will be very honest. That green cabbage is like horrid. So what I do
We
is
had purple
I do
cabbage.
the purple cabbage, which
Mhm.
is not quite as strong, and of course with it being like a purple reddish hue, is
It's
blood
beautiful.
It's a blood
It
purifier
is. It's
as well.
like this.
Right,
It is a beautiful color.
So instead of, I know we're talking about celery straight and
Yes.
and cabbage, purple red cabbage potentially straight at the same time. So you could take some of the edge off, maybe throw half of a green apple in some of it and experiment with it, because it's still going to work wonders for you. It's going to work wonders. Experimenting. So I tip my hat, because you read some things that worked for somebody else and you were willing to try it.
Yes.
And that's what I always tell people, at least try it. I mean, what have you lost?
Right.
A couple of, a little bit of time, 30, 40
Right.
minutes juicing maybe.
And you suffered through
And that's-
8 seconds of guzzling some
Right.
celery juice. Like, it's
Right.
not that big of a deal. My brain goes to, with the medications, just having experienced that, what are the risks? What are the side effects? Do the risks outweigh the benefits?
Right.
How does that all work?
Right.
And with celery, no risk.
Right.
No side effect. The
No.
worst thing that could happen is that you don't see the results that you're looking for.
Right.
In my mind,
that's
that's
it.
the absolute worst case scenario. Is, okay, it doesn't taste great, maybe that's the first thing on the list, but
Right.
you don't see the results you are looking for. But I can't tell you how immediate Christopher's results were. I mean, he doesn't walk around the house shirtless, but at one point he was, and I just thought, oh my God, have you looked in the mirror?
Yeah.
This is amazing. I mean, I wanted to shout it from the rooftops. It was amazing,
It is
because it was
crazy.
really the only thing that worked that we felt good about doing.
And that's good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. No, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. We need more of it. We need more of it. We need more of it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be coming back with more people doing the exact same thing that Rachel is doing, which is fantastic. We're going to let you guys go and hope you have a fantastic day. Later.